Running a home service business is hard. So how is it that some people make it look so easy? Well, we'll tell you. This is the Freedom Blueprint Podcast. It's always good to hear the wins that successful contractors have. But have you ever thought that the best advice would be to hear about the speed bumps they encountered, the mistakes they've made along the way? We're going to talk about the good, the bad, and the ugly. We want you to be successful and avoid the mistakes others have made. Let's get this party started. Welcome to the Freedom Blueprint Podcast. Now your host, Justin Deese.
Welcome back to another episode of Freedom Blueprint Podcast. And we have got, it's kind of a big deal. We got a big episode today for you. Big celebration episode. I'm joined today with my special guest co-host. I'm so getting that right. My amazing wife, Kristen, the virtual CFO for the trades. So thank you for coming and hanging out.
Absolutely.
So,
Wait. Okay. So you said it's a big deal.
It is.
Okay. So your Southern accent makes it sound like Dill, which is probably what you meant to say. But it reminded me of my treat yesterday at Sonic.
Yeah.
So they have dill pickle flavored slushies now. And I had one the other day and it was really good.
It sounds disgusting.
And all of the kids are like, no. Even Addie, my precious little baby girl that would never betray me, was like, oh, Mom, it's so good. I had one the other day. It was great. And I was like, ooh, that sounds good. And I ordered one. And then she waited for me to take a sip. And then she starts laughing and she's like, it's the worst thing I've ever had. I was like, what are you talking about? It's actually really good. But anyway, I digress. It's a big deal.
The idea of that is gross.
But I used to eat the pickle pops at the baseball field too. When the kids were little, they would take those little. At one point, we were putting
white trash delight.
We were putting Jello shooters in them in bogs, but before that, they were pickle juice that was frozen. Then you could get a pickle pop for 25 cents. I ate more of them than the kids did.
Anyways, welcome to this big deal episode. So today,
why is it a big deal?
Well, I was just about to say that. Today is this is episode number 100.
100
episodes over the course of 2 and some change years. We launched the very first podcast May 30th, 2023. Is that right? We did have about 3 months of where there wasn't anything going on, which we'll get into that. But other than that, it's been every Monday we've released a podcast. And, a big part of the goal with this podcast was just get started, keep going. Get started, keep going. So consistency, good content. I mean, that was really the goal. It wasn't a revenue play. It wasn't anything else other than, just commit, be consistent, and put out good content.
Well, you talked about wanting to do a podcast for a long time.
Long time.
And then
by long time, we mean like 10 plus
years. Yeah. Like
actually 15.
I don't even know how long
years.
Podcasts have been a thing, but it was pretty much from the beginning. And then that first episode dropped literally the day after Zach went to boot camp.
Yep.
So I think the whole time during boot camp, it was probably a pretty good distraction.
Yeah.
But we can kind of consider that a soft launch, if you will, of Freedom Blueprint. And then we took a little break.
Yep.
I say you've done like 99.9% of the work here. So I can't really take credit for
but that's because I can't get you to come and do all the episodes with me. Because if I could.
I can't make that kind of commitment. So you took a little bit of a break, which was to do what?
Well, let's see. Since we launched this, we've had a whole lot of life changes, right? And Zach going in the Marine Corps, and then that was kind of the start of it. So we had that time where he was in the Marine Corps, and then we sold the business. And the reason there was a gap is we sold the business, and I really wanted to make sure that I was given the people that were buying the business, the focus and the energy, quite frankly, that they deserved, right? They were buying the business. So there were some things I committed to, and I wanted to make sure to uphold that. And it just so happened that there's some stuff I really wanted to do a podcast on. And I went to the CEO of Leap, John Cerasulo, and said, look, man, I've been doing this podcast. It's kind of a new thing, but I don't want to stop. And, I want to honor our commitment and our time. And I want to make sure that I'm giving you all the focus that, I told you would. And I'll do this at 5 a.m. So there's a lot of them I've done super early in the morning. And I sent him a couple of them, and he's like, I love it, man. Keep doing it. Keep going. And so that was cool to get the blessing from him to keep rocking.
Yep. So then you fired it back up basically in January of 24.
January 1st, which I believe was a Monday.
Mm-hmm. And now it's been every single week.
Every single Monday.
Ever since then. Yep. Every Monday. So this episode, we're going to kind of flip it a little bit where I'm going to be doing the interview.
Flipping the script.
And you're going to be the interviewee.
Okay.
So I get to ask you some questions about the podcast and all the things.
Okay.
Okay. So
I'm prepared.
Are you? So what's something that surprised you the most about doing the podcast? Was something that was surprising?
I'm going to say the amount of work that would go into it. I don't really, because I hadn't done it, I didn't know what to expect, but it's a lot more work. There's a lot of editing, and there's a lot of equipment, and there's a lot of technology challenges that come up.
So fun fact, this is the second time we recorded this episode because
2.0.
We recorded it. If you would have seen the video this morning when we recorded it, that was a coffee cup. Now it's the afternoon after we realized that recording was no good, that we could not use it because of technology challenges. And now instead of coffee, I have a pink Red Bull, but we're going to the gym after this. So yeah. Anyway, so yes, technology challenges, they are a thing.
Yeah.
But
even 2 years into this.
Even 2 years into it.
Yeah. So.
And countless Amazon orders and 17 sets of mics, and I don't even know how many cables and connections.
You don't want to know.
All the things.
So many. There's so many out there.
The studio has certainly morphed a lot since the beginning.
Yeah, the studio looks great. Even in the 6 months that we've had the studio, if even that long, there's been quite a few evolutions of it. It's coming along really nice. The lighting's great.
Yep. The backdrop is awesome.
Backdrop's cool. There's been a lot to it, but we're trying to streamline a little bit and use more technology and less hardware in the recording. Meaning, so as we travel to different locations, the packaging, what we have to take is less. Last year we did some road shows, and I mean, it was like 5 cases that we had to take, and this year should be 1 or 2.
Yeah.
And of course I say that, and with the new technology setup, we just recorded one that we're now having to do again because.
And I almost wonder if it was internet quality that messed us up on the first time around.
Well,
not necessarily hardware,
the issue
but
with
I don't really
that
know.
is that we have 2 different
That's
internets
true.
here. So one of the things we have invested in this studio is we have 2 different internets, so that
And
if there's an
not
issue,
2 routers, like 2
no,
totally,
2 totally
separate
providers.
services.
Yeah, 2 totally separate providers, just because we're out a little ways, and we do have fiber under the house, but then we also have one of the T-Mobile boxes, which works great.
Yep.
So a little bit of redundancy, and normally we have some other ways that we do the backup of the audio and video, and this new technology, we just so happen to not have all that, and whatever, that's fine.
So what did your setup look like on episode 1?
Episode 1 was a like a USB microphone, and just a basic camera.
And your lighting was a window?
My lighting was maybe a window if it were sunny, and if not, it was dark.
But even though it wasn't perfect, you launched it anyway.
Yeah, that was my thing. Like I knew it wasn't gonna be perfect, and it's easy to get into that perfection procrastination thing, and so
I have no idea what you're talking about. That never happens to me.
Yeah. But I was like, we're going to go, we're going to launch. And really, launching it at first, I had a really good coach that I went and found that's been a podcaster forever. And, there were some pieces of advice he gave me as I got started is 1, don't read any comments. 2, don't even look at your ratings. So don't look at your KPIs. Don't look at your downloads. Don't care. Don't do anything till you get to like 50 episodes. I didn't quite make it to 50. But something really cool happened last year about this time last year. We had, quite a few speaking engagements that we did, and the downloads just really started to grow, which was, that obviously feels good when people are downloading it.
Right.
The very first episode, you're like 2, like 2 people. But yeah, so.
But you're getting some traction now.
Oh yeah.
Getting some traction. So, where was the first episode posted to?
Let's see. I forget what software I was using. That's not even a thing anymore. It expired.
Oh wow.
It stopped, whatever it was. But I think it was on all the,
on the main, like Spotify's and Apple's and all of those.
Yep.
But you were not. I don't remember if you were recording video or not, but you were not posting video anywhere.
I was recording video because my thought was, well, at least I have the video. I don't know what I'm going to do with it yet. So all the recording, well, I'd say 95% of them, I also have the video, but I haven't done anything with them yet.
So what has been the thought process or logic behind the guests that you've chosen to have on and or the content that you have put out there through the podcast?
So the first guests were just friends. Like, hey, I'm doing a podcast. You want to come hang out? And everybody was so gracious. Everybody's like, yeah, let's go. Let's do this. What also happened after, once we got about 40 episodes, because, the truth is if you look at podcast, I don't remember the number, but like 10, like stop at 10, it's almost like 80% of them don't make it past 10 episodes. Yeah. So once I got up there a little bit, people started reaching out. That was kind of cool. So that's nice when people start reaching out to you and you're not having to do quite so much heavy lifting of reaching out to people and they're kind of saying, hey, mind if I'm on the podcast? So
what type of episodes do you like better? Do you like the ones where it's you and you're providing value content, or do you like the ones where it's interviews and you're letting the guest provide the majority of the content?
So at the very beginning, I liked to have guests because I love to hear people's stories. Now what's cool is I'm starting to have people on the show that I've not met before. So I'm getting to meet new people, and that's pretty cool.
Live and on camera.
Yeah. It's like, nice to meet you. Let's, I'm going to ask you questions.
Yeah.
And, because, always and this is kind of, I guess, behind the scenes, whatever. But normally when somebody comes on, like my description of the show is we're hanging out having coffee. Like we're just hanging out at the coffee shop. We're shooting the breeze and people are just listening in. So it's not made to be like this super rigid, if you want to tell a joke, tell a joke.
Yeah.
Make sure it's a good joke.
Yeah.
Tell a crappy joke, but
yeah, no, we can't do that. So are you glad that you started the podcast?
I am.
Are you still glad that you're doing it?
I am most days. Today has been a challenge with technology that I've had for a couple of recordings, but luckily we have some people on the team now that help. So it's not all me. Where at first it was all me at 5 o'clock in the morning, 10 o'clock at night, trying to get things figured out. We're starting to have a team behind us now, which is pretty cool.
And I'm guessing that in itself is probably the reason why a lot of people don't make it past 10, 15, 20 episodes. You get into it and you're like, wow, this takes longer, or the learning curve is bigger than maybe what you thought it was going to be or something.
Well, I mean, think about this. We're recording episode number 100 today, and we had a major technical difficulty.
Yes.
Major.
But we're also using new equipment today at episode 100.
That is true.
So we do have different hardware today that we did not have in previous episodes, but it's an attempt to solve a challenge that has been coming up multiple times. So it's like, it's Eventually,
Gotta pivot.
yeah, we'll get there eventually.
Yeah.
So looking back, what episode or guest had the biggest impact on you personally?
Having Ara on from ServiceTitan, the CEO and founder, that was pretty cool. Obviously, we've known Ara for a lot of years because we've been with, we were with ServiceTitan very, very early on.
I was actually looking at the timeline the other day for a webinar that I was doing, and ServiceTitan launched in June of 2012, and we were on ServiceTitan by either late 2012 or early 2013.
Yeah.
So
wow.
we were like early. Ara was our salesperson,
Right. And our onboarding
and
person.
our onboarding person. Yes.
So we've known him for a very, very long time, and we've spent some time at ServiceTitan office early on. So, but having him on was pretty cool because obviously now they're a publicly traded company. I mean, he's a publicly traded CEO, and that's not really the right term, but that's a really cool thing. And so when I reached out to him about it, I was like, man, I know you don't. I text him and I was like, I know you don't really do interviews, and I know you're busy, but man, and he, without hesitation, I mean, he immediately texted me back. He was like, I would love to, thanks for asking. It was really cool.
Yeah.
And just, when I went back to listen to the episode,
it was a great episode.
I mean, man,
it was a really good one.
I mean, but ServiceTitan didn't turn into what ServiceTitan is by having people that weren't very, very, very intelligent running that business. So, yeah, it was pretty cool.
The whole message of that particular episode too, with like picking one or two things and getting it right before you add on anything else was like, it's gold. Okay. So what was the biggest challenge getting the podcast just off the ground in general?
I'm going to say mindset. I went through that whole cycle for many years about starting the podcast on, do I have the time? Do I want to make the commitment? Do I have the ability? Do I have enough content? Like, can I really put out enough content every week that's beneficial to people? Like, just kind of going through that stage. So once I finally went, let's just go. And then once I went and I talked about it with people, then they're like, oh, hey, listen to the podcast, like the podcast, then it's like, okay, well, now I've made this open commitment.
Right.
Now I have to stick to it because I don't want to disappoint anybody. So.
Yes. So when you were first deciding to launch it, I think there was definitely some conversations about how many you were going to do in a week. And I want to say that at first you were thinking like 2 or 3 a week.
I was thinking 2.
But one of the big important things about podcasts is that part of the algorithm relies on you to be dropping podcasts at the same time every week or the same number per week or whatever. Like that is pretty important. So we knew early on that was going to be important. And I think you ended up dialing back that commitment to once a week. Are you glad now that you did that?
Yes.
Now, we would have been recording episode 300 by now if you were doing 3 a week. However, the amount of time that you had to put in to get 1 out a week, multiply that times 3, that would have been, I don't know that you would have been able to keep up with it, to be honest.
One, I wouldn't have been able to. And really the objective was to be consistent and have good content. And if I were having to do 3 a week early on, I'd have been rushing content and just putting stuff out there just to check a box. And that's no good for anybody. That's not good for the listener. It's not good for me. Who wants to listen to that crap? So,
yeah, right.
but the truth is I do see an opportunity in the future where I might start doing 2 podcasts. Now that we're starting to build a team to help with that kind of thing, we might start doing a little bit more. There's some other things I probably won't talk about it on this one yet that I'm going to be doing in the future. That's going to be pretty cool as well.
Yes. And the podcast is a great platform for all of that.
Yeah.
So what is something that listeners might be surprised to learn that goes into creating the show?
Probably the amount of time that goes into prep would be 1. And 2, there is a lot of podcasts. If it's been me head to camera or head to mic, whatever, if you're not watching on YouTube, then there's a good chance it's 4 or 5 o'clock in the morning. For me, my hour of really
brilliance,
sure, we'll call it that, is first thing in the morning, man. I wake up and I'm like ready to go. And there's a lot of times I wake up and there's been something rattling around in my brain and I want to get out and go get it and talk about it. So there's a lot of episodes that have been done very, very early in the morning.
There's also less of a chance that you're going to get interrupted by a phone call, a
True.
text message, somebody coming through the door. You're not sharing internet with anybody at 4 in the morning.
True. Although now we're empty nesters.
We are.
So not a lot of sharing internet anymore.
That's true.
I mean, with us, but we have 2, so we can each have 1.
All right. So all of your interviews, you're either interviewing another business owner, interviewing some supportive services, some people that do supportive services of the home services, or it's been you. When you talk to other successful business owners through the podcast and even out and about, is there a common thread that you see that kind of ties everybody together, besides just the industry, of course, that seems to be appearing in those that are uber successful?
Yeah, I would say the difference in the ones that are growing, and it comes out in implementation. It's the guys and girls that are learning new things and taking the information and doing something with it. So I think even on our outro of the thing, it says, "Hey, take the information and go do something with it," because that is the hardest part sometimes. And running the business is there's no shortage of ideas. There's no shortage of opportunities. And you go to, a show and you learn 50 new things and you get home and you're like, oh my gosh. Or you jump on YouTube and there's plenty of people that'll tell you everything you need to do. Unfortunately, some of them haven't done it themselves, but whatever, they're experts. So I would say the difference is really the implementation side. Like, well, okay, so you were just talking about with the interview with Ara, like take one thing and work on it, execute it, dial it in, get it nailed down, and then work on something else.
And the one thing that you're focusing in on needs to be the thing that moves the needle.
Correct.
Not the thing that's not moving the needle.
Right.
Okay, so implementation. Implementation is a common thread amongst those that seem to be uber successful. I could definitely see that even across my clients now, and some of the ones that are like the bigger names, the Tommy Mellos and the whatever. Like you can see implementation happening.
Well, think about Levi Torres, High Five Plumbing. I mean, we've worked with them for years, and that's one thing is that him and Cassie, they implement, man. Yeah. They don't mess around. They implement. They don't just take something and just like throw it out to the team and hope it sticks. They truly implement it. And true implementation is not come up with an idea, and it's not come up with an idea and throw it at your team. Like there's a whole cycle that happens to implementation. So yeah, I would say the ones that are really, really successful are the ones that are really good at that exercise.
I feel like that might be a little seed for what's coming down the pipeline for Freedom Blueprint. So if you were to go back and give yourself some advice before you recorded episode 1, what would you tell yourself?
Give myself more runway. So, part of the thing is you have like this hamster wheel of recording that you can run into. And really, I wish I would have just said 4 weeks. Like I always want to be 4 weeks out or 4 recordings out. And that be my deadline, not Monday morning at 3:30 in the morning be my deadline. That way I'm always a little bit more prepared, and I'm kind of like we are now. Like I have a giant board in there and it has every date for the next, I think 3 or 4 months, and they're all filled out of what's going to happen and when. I wish I would have done that and have been a little more, meticulous about that at the very beginning. Luckily I am now, but because I have team,
right?
Where before it was just like, hey, you want to do a podcast interview? Yeah. Okay, cool. When? Now? Okay, great. Right. So that, I mean, for the first couple of months, that was it.
But now you have Kate to be like, there's nothing in the folder.
Yeah. Now Kate's like, hey,
we need an episode before Sunday night. How about that?
Yeah.
Okay, so it's called Freedom Blueprint Podcast. So tell us a little bit about the where the name come from and why you chose Freedom Blueprint.
So freedom, I think if you ask most business owners, that's kind of what they wanted to get when they got started. Like they go, I just want to be free. I want freedom. A lot of times they don't even know what that means, but often freedom is the first thing that escapes when you start a business. So it's, you go from, freedom, I'm going to have freedom of time and I'm going to have financial freedom and time with my family. And then all that goes away. And you're like, well, I've made no money. I've got no time. I get no sleep. Like, this is crazy. So, that's really where freedom came from, is I want to be able to create, I don't know, space for people to just stop for a minute and think about maybe what that means, or give them some tools to maybe help move that needle a little bit. And then blueprint is obviously, you got to have a blueprint for what you're doing. A lot of times people just kind of, you don't know what you don't know. And for a lot of business owners, you come into, especially our industry, and most of them were technicians, and they come in and they're like, man, I can really do this technical thing. Like, I'm the best plumber in the whole world. And then they own a business and they're like, I talk to people that 7, 8, 10 years that have been plumbers or HVAC techs or whatever. And they're like, I don't, this part stinks. Like, this is terrible. So that was where the blueprint came from, is like helping people have a blueprint to follow so that you can be successful. I mean, can you imagine building a house and having, I don't know, 1 or 2 general contractors, or just a framer and go, hey, frame a wall, and hey, plumber over here? Like, none of it works. So that's kind of where the whole thing came from.
So you mentioned that, occasionally we'll talk to somebody who is an owner operator, and after what feels like in an extremely long period of time, they're still in the truck, 6, 7, 10 years. And like, our knee-jerk reaction is, how in the world could they be in business for that long and still be in that same position? But then the thought that just crossed my mind a minute ago is, man, does time fly when you're in that position?
Yeah.
You put your head down and you start working, and you look up and it's freaking 10 years later.
Yep.
And you are still working just as hard as you were working, solving the same problems and the same fires. And that's 10 years you're not ever going to get back.
Yeah.
So, to the ones that are out there that are starting up, that know the trade but don't know the business, man, the earlier you can get on board with learning the business, the better you will be, because you will not be able to get those years back if you wake up one day and you realize, I'm doing the same thing that I was doing 10 years ago. My business hasn't grown.
Yeah. And, and I went through that phase for a lot of years, where I just assumed that working hard and working long hours meant success. And I mean, I can remember sitting at my desk like, this is crazy. Like, I think all these people that own businesses, they're all lying. Like, this is a sham. What is happening here? Because, externally, it's like we had all these trucks everywhere and there was people everywhere. But I'm like, we don't have any money. Like, where'd it go? What's going on? So, it took us kind of coming to that realization, and really that breaking point of enough's enough. Like, we're either going to figure this out, or we're going to go have like normal people jobs.
Well, I didn't have time could not be an excuse anymore.
Correct.
So we spent a long time. We couldn't work on the business. We didn't have time because we were always working in the business. And it got to the point where we just couldn't use that as an excuse anymore, because that's really what it was.
Well, and we didn't even know what that meant. I mean, I can remember going, literally going, if I just knew what to do, I would do it. I don't even know what that looks like. Like, you're like, well, here's a computer.
Yeah.
There wasn't YouTube back then. Thank goodness, man. That might have been not good for me had there been YouTube, because then you got so many people giving you advice in so many different directions, and you're like, oh, I'm going to do this. And then you're like, well, that didn't work. And that costs you however much money. And you don't know that the person that's, doesn't actually know what they're talking about, but they're really good. They're really good marketers, and they're really good on YouTube or whatever platform. So, I don't know, maybe it's a blessing that we didn't have YouTube.
Yeah, probably was. Yeah. Okay. So we are, so this is 100 episodes in. What does the future of Freedom Blueprint podcast look like?
I really want it to be, I want it to just keep getting better, right? Like in the 100 episodes, it looks totally different than it did for episode 1. I want it to keep getting better. Last year, I got the opportunity to do some live things at events. That was so much fun. We actually have some more of those events that we're getting to do here coming up. We've got, I don't know, we got quite a few of them that we're getting to do, which we'll do episodes on each of them to talk about it because we hope to see everybody at all of them. I want to do more live stuff. And there's a good chance that we're going to end up starting to do 2 per week.
Okay.
Not fully committed to that yet, but we're getting pretty close to where 2 per week could be something that we could be consistent and bring good value.
Nice.
Yeah.
There you go. Something to look forward to.
Yeah.
For the listeners.
Yeah.
Cool. Well, do you have any final thoughts or words or anything that you want everybody to hear on this 100th episode?
I would say a big thank you to everybody for the support, whether this is the first time you're listening or you're listening to all of them. I'm not sure that anybody's ever listened to all of them, but most of them, or whatever the case may be, it's cool. It's this has been a big passion project. And so to be able to put this out into the world and people listen and get value from it and then reach out to me and they're like, oh my gosh,
I listened to them.
Yeah, I listened to that episode and that was so awesome.
Mm-hmm.
And
I even get text messages about your episodes. Like, oh, I listened to Justin's podcast. It was so good. Blah blah blah. Like I'm glad you're listening. Thank you. Make sure to rate it. Do a rating.
Yeah, it's very cool. It's very cool.
We actually had an encounter at the Piggly Wiggly not too long ago, standing in line checking out our stuff, and the guy behind us was like, "Hey, are you guys the Deeses?" We're like, "It depends on who's asking."
Are you the IRS, sir? I'm just kidding. We just had the CPA on, so
no, we're in good standing with them.
Yeah, we're good.
She can confirm. Yes.
Yeah.
No, that was really cool. He's like, yeah, I listened to the episode or listen to the podcast and follow you guys. It was really cool.
Yeah, it's been weird. There's been several encounters like that are, you expect it when you go to like industry events, but out in the wild.
Out in the wild at the pig.
Well, that one was definitely, and there was another one where there was somebody doing work here on the house, and it was not even in the trades. He was maybe the gutter guy.
Oh.
And he was like, "Oh yeah, we listen to your podcast," and I was like,
"That's cool."
Yeah, we love your podcast. Oh, that's cool, man. Thanks. So, but yeah, I think that's the big thing is just it really truly is humbling when somebody like takes the time to listen, because it is a lot of effort and it is a lot of energy that goes into it. And any kind of share it, share with the world. We want our message to be in front of as many people that need it.
Have you ever extended the invitation to listeners, which if you haven't, I'm going ahead and going to do it now. So, whatever. But have you ever extended the invitation to listeners to reach out to you if there is a certain topic that they want you to talk about?
I don't think I have.
Okay, well, consider the invitation extended. That might be interesting. Give you some good idea for content. If somebody's like, hey, I really want to hear your perspective on this.
Well, I say that. We did an episode on tariffs, and that's because a couple people had asked me about it. Mm-hmm. So we did an episode on that. We just did one on the big, beautiful bill. Actually, it hasn't even come out yet. It's about to come out. Actually, I don't know that anybody asked. I think that was just you and I were like, this has got to be an important topic.
Yeah. Well, we were kind of like, we need to jump on that one because that's a big deal.
No, I mean, it is a big deal. Yeah, anytime somebody's got a suggestion, I mean, you can find us on the website or social media or email. Always happy to hear from people that like the podcast. I'm even good with hearing from somebody if they don't like it. So
you take that kind of criticism better than I do.
I'm
if
okay
you don't
with
like it, don't come to me. Go to him.
Yeah, it doesn't matter to me. If there's an audio, which I will say, it's funny if ever there's an error. Audio error or a clip or something like that, buddy, I get, which is fine. It does not bother me. I would rather somebody tell me than, and I've got a couple friends that have podcasts that I've listened to and I'm like, hey,
just so you know,
might want to check on that.
Yeah. I mean, it happens,
Yeah, absolutely, it does.
It happens.
And especially as you have a team.
Right.
So as you have a team, it definitely, it's no different than running a home service business from that perspective. The bigger you get, the more team members, the more issues that can arise. And you truly do want to know when there's an issue so that you can fix it versus just sitting on it, because that's no good.
Yes, exactly.
That is no good.
Cool. Well, coming to the end of our 100th episode, I want to say that I am super proud of you for sticking with it, for getting it off the ground, and continuing to week after week after week. Make sure one drops every Monday, because you know that everybody is waiting for it. So I'm excited for you and what it looks like over the next couple of years and all the things you got going on. It's exciting.
Well, appreciate it. That's very, very kind. You've been very supportive, and I'm going to just work on getting you on more episodes. That's my goal.
Well, you better get on my calendar.
Awesome. Well, thank you all for listening, coming and hanging out. I don't know. I don't guess there was a whole lot of value as far as a business from that episode. Maybe there was. I don't know. But all right, we'll claim that. So thank you all so much. I appreciate you coming out as always, and stick around. We are just getting started. We got so much more in the works and in the pipeline. So we will see you.
You've been listening to the Freedom Blueprint Podcast. Information is useless if not applied. So take what you've learned and go and implement it. We hope you've enjoyed the show. If you did, make sure to like, rate, and review. We'll be back soon. But in the meantime, find us on social media at Freedom Blueprint for Home Services and hit the website at www.freedomblueprintpodcast.com. See you next time.